Hi, welcome back. So in this section we're going to talk about my visual sources and my reasoning for the elements that I've chosen for this particular painting. The sources for our darkened room visually come from the gas chambers at Auschwitz-Birkenau. And it's because the emotional and physical abuse is more common than a lot of people would like to believe. And the abusers make the abused and their victims believe that it never happened or that it's normal, so it continues. It's like the saying, all evil has to do to win is have good men do nothing. If all you know is pain and misery and betrayal, then that's what your normal is. Anything else is completely unknown. In the case of Auschwitz-Birkenau, the people who were loaded onto the trains and were shipped in were trusting the guards as they went into the gas chamber, just as children trust their parents to love and protect them. The dog is a nondescript breed, which has been beaten and abused, starved, and is now left for dead with its heart torn out. The dog represents the child of an abusive home. A child brought up in an unstable, toxic home life will try and find love wherever and however they can. Much like a dog, the child may be put into situations that are not safe, or may be way out of their control. Many abused children will find that they are forced to grow up far before their childhood is ever over. And an abused victim will find whatever way they can of coping with the situation, and will often find unhealthy ways of coping that will follow them later in life. In animals, we call it feral behavior or aggressive behavior. In people, it's childhood post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety disorder, depression, bipolar. The dog is chained to a post. People are wired to be social and support each other in groups. That is how we survived. When the first group you know as a child is your family, and your family is toxic and dysfunctional, you may find yourself chained to those relationships, like the dog in this painting. The figures in this doorway represent the double-edged sword, fighting the abuser or your controller to seek freedom in a safer environment. Freedom means fighting them and abandoning them, or going out on your own, facing your fears. You may not make it. They may find you and drag you back. If you fail, you may not be able to get away, and you may be punished for trying. If you fail to make it on your own, and you don't have a support system aside from your family, they would lord over you how you were wrong and they were right all along. Leaving means going out and leaving the familiar, and that can be something that is paralyzing for those who have suffered abuse. When the world you know is horrible on a moment-by-moment basis, and you have no control, how bad could it be when you have no control and no support? But the reality is, your abusers don't support you. They are keeping you down. Fighting them and standing up for yourself may be one of the hardest things you could ever do, because if you are not strong enough to win, the punishment could be so much worse than the humility of just failing. The final element of this piece is the spirit of the wolf, the raw spirit of the dog that is left. Gentle and tortured, it is exhausted from the years it endured. It's saddened by what the dog endured because logic and experience has told the dog that that is what it had to do. Endure. The dog was loyal where loyalty was not earned. The wolf cannot change the past, but it will learn from it and move on. It will walk away because that's what it must do to survive. And the wolf may walk alone, and it may walk alone for many years. But free from the pain now, its spirit may begin to heal. A muzzle that was bound can no longer contain the voice of reason when something is wrong. A body that was too weak to fight will find ways to survive when things get tough. The wolf has dealt with some of the worst that life can bring. The wolf has dealt with love that is a lie. And moving on, the spirit will find out what else life has to offer.